Hello and welcome to the 35th edition of the Sharjah International Book Fair Day 9. Today we have an author and columnist, Helena Powell, who has written 11 books. She currently edits for Sports Lifestyle magazine at Sports 360. It's a pleasure to have you here with us. I'm interested to know about how did you start your journey into writing and now becoming a columnist?
Right, well, I never really wanted to do anything else but write. So when I went to university, I didn't concentrate very hard on my studies. I concentrated on editing the student newspaper, which was my main aim for going to university. So I edited the student newspaper, and as soon as I left university, I got a job in journalism. I got a job in financial journalism, which I was very badly suited to, but it was a way to get in. It was a foot in the door. In those days, you didn't really have journalism courses so much. You really just went in as a vocational thing after university. Then my career really got a lot better when I moved to France because I managed to get a column on the Sunday Times about living in France, and that led to my first book. So really things went from strength to strength from there. So then I started working a lot for the Daily Mail and a lot for the Times, the Telegraph, various other English publications. And then we moved to Abu Dhabi, where I worked for the National, and I edited M magazine for the National until it was closed down, the magazine. And then I'm now still working here sometimes, although I'm back in England full time. I edit a magazine called Life 360, which is part of the Sports 360 group. So that's really been the transition. I'm still writing books all the time. Written 11 books now, non-fiction and fiction, and probably leaning more towards the fiction now for the future, but we'll see.
Okay, you basically edit a lifestyle sports magazine for Sports 360. What interested you to work on this beat?
Okay, well, it's really my dream job because I'm mad about sport and I'm mad about fashion and lifestyle, so it combines everything. So we have fashion sections, we have sports interviews, we had an interview with Lionel Messi in our first issue, we have books we do, so it covers that, the cultural aspect of which I love as well, so we do sports books. So yeah, it really combines everything I love, and it's a really fun job. I love it. And it means I can come back to Dubai every few weeks, so I like it.
You've written so many different types of genres when you write. So how do you manage to write these different forms of writing?
I think it's being a bit like being a character actor. So you really get into the sort of mood that you have to be in to write whatever you have to write. I'm so used to it now. It's my job, and it has been for 25 years. And so I'm quite if I'm working on a novel, the character that I'm writing about, I normally have a sort of feeling in my head of what this character is and his or her voice and what he or she looks like, and I kind of get into that character. In terms of the newspaper articles, really it's driven by what the newspaper is, who my audience is, what the topic is. Something that I write for the Daily Mail on whether or not you should be dyeing your hair silver or blonde is going to be very different to something, a serious issue. Say I write about say Brexit for the Telegraph or something. But there are different voices. I should think probably the majority of my stuff is more light-hearted and more sort of more skimming the surface than too profound.
Since you focus on lifestyle, what are the multicultural activities that you focus on, and what do you think is the wider canvas for a lifestyle journalist?
Gosh, that's a big question. In terms of sport is the most multicultural thing you can ever think of. I mean, you can go anywhere in the world and talk to people about cricket or football or tennis, whatever sport they happen to be into. So for me, it's lovely to reach you can reach every, with the Lifestyle magazine here, we certainly reach a massive audience because we write about cricket. So obviously that's all the Asian countries are mad about that. And then obviously the football. Football is a huge icebreaker because anyone who knows anything about football, you can have a conversation with. You can talk about which teams they support, whether they support a Spanish team, Italian team, English team. Doesn't have to be just English centric. I think that it's the canvas for sport is immeasurable, and it goes on for. It could go on. It's infinite basically, and I love the fact that it brings people together in such a big way. So I think that's why I think I mean, lifestyle less so, because fashion can be dictated. You know, fashion obviously here can be different to fashion in England, but I mean, certainly sport is a real unifier.
So that was it with Helena. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more updates on Manipal Dubai TV with camera person Stefan Elsie. This is Sakina Habib signing off.